Hello everyone, this is just a very quick tutorial I thought I'd make purely for myself, documentation, and just for like, guidance as well, because I know a lot of people struggle with this. So this is how to export Google Maps / Google Earth map data and put it into a mesh into Roblox Studio. Now, this is an example that I've been working on. This is a town called Bishop in California. Now, the benefits of doing this is that it's good to make an outline. It makes an almost one-to-one recreation of the outline of the actual city itself or town that you're making. So, as you can see, this road that I've made here is pretty much a one-to-one recreation. And let's say I just grab this car here. It's pretty much a one-to-one scale. So what this allows you to do is essentially make almost one-to-one recreations or scales of in real-life places. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be cities. You can also do terrain, so on and so forth as well. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. Yeah, we'll get started with it. Now, before you do anything, you need to download 3 different softwares. For one of them, you do need a decent computer. Because Blender, which is the actual 3D modeling software for it, can be quite intensive. I think it's CPU dependent, so as long as you've got a decent CPU, you should be fine. But if you've got a really low-end computer, you might have some issues. If you do have issues, I'd probably suggest just getting a friend to do it for you, a friend who might have it. That's probably the best advice I can have, or try and use a different software, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with Blender myself, so this is like the bare bones basic sort of, software I can find. So you'd want to download Blender GIS. You'd want to download the zip file. Now this is the actual plugin for Blender, which allows you to retrieve that data from Google Earth or Maps and stick it into Blender as a mesh, as a 3D part. What you'd also want to do is download you'd want to get an API key from Open Topography, which allows you to actually retrieve the elevation data from Google Maps and Google Earth. So let's say I was to grab a section of a mountain, Mount Everest for example. If I was to do it without this API key, it would just be a flat image. Whereas if I was to get the API key, it would also get the elevation of Mount Everest, and it would actually scale it to the right size of how tall that mountain actually is. So it basically makes your mountains and terrain and your roads and bridges sort of pop up, essentially, which is really useful for trying to recreate a city or a town that has loads of, elevation. For example, like San Francisco. If you're doing San Francisco, there's a lot of roads that are hilly. There's lots of terrain that's hilly. So using this API key allows you to sort of get an idea of how tall certain roads are, how tall certain mountains are, stuff like that. So then you'd also want to get Blender as well. It's a free software. Like I said, you need a decent computer. If you don't have one, you might have issues, but just try and see if you can get a friend. So you want to open up your Blender. You'd want to go to Edit, Preferences, click on Add-ons. In the top right corner, you should see an arrow facing down, and it should say Add-on Settings. Click on that. Install from disk. Now what you want to do is when you press install from disk, you'd want to select the zip file of this. Now don't unzip it, just leave it exactly how it is. It does it all for you. Once you've done that, press OK, and then it should pop up here, I believe. Yep, should pop up here. Just select the tick box and you are good to go. I don't think there's any settings here you need to change. Correction, yes there is. So once you get your API key, and mine will be censored because it's mine, you want to copy it, and then you want to go back into Blender, and then where it says Open Topography API, stick your unique API key in there, and then after that, I believe that's everything. You'd want to go to your cache folder here, and then just select sort of where your cache is going to go. So I've just put it in my downloads folder because I'm quite messy. I don't really organize anything. Once you've done that, that is done. You're ready to go. So top left corner, you should see a category that says GIS. Click on that. Click on Web Geodata, and then click on Base Map. Now, for the map on this one, if I can just show this to you now. This was satellite data from Bing. Now, I've personally been told that Bing's better for quality. It's slightly better than Google, but I don't really have any evidence to back that up. So you can either use Google or Bing, but I mean, if you want this quality of the picture to use as a scale reference, then just use Bing, because this is from Bing. So we'll be using Bing, but it doesn't change the process or anything. So you'd want to select either Google or Bing. Excuse me. And then you'd want to make sure it's satellite. If you do map, it will just show a literal map, which can be useful if you want to do a map, but I'd prefer doing satellite because it also shows the road markings and everything as well. So you'd want to do satellite, then press OK. Now this will generate a scale of the Earth. Now, if you're trying to make a small town in the middle of nowhere, then trying to find the small town might be a bit of a task, especially on this map. And especially if you've got slow computer as well. So to make it easier for you, if you press the G key, so G for golf, it will come up with a little box that says base map. Now, before you do anything, you'd want to set the zoom level to 20. Now, this will basically zoom in into that location at 20 scale, which I've been told is the best sort of scale zoom level for when you export this into Roblox Studio. So I'd recommend to do 20. So now for this example, we'll be doing Chicago. Just make it more specific, USA. And there you go. It'll take you to Chicago, or the place that you requested. So what you can do is you can zoom out. You can figure out sort of what location you want to go to. So I want to do sort of... where do I want to go? Just bear with me 1 second. We will do... We'll do here, because this will be a perfect example to show elevation. Because as you can see, these roads actually go underneath. So this will be a perfect example to show sort of how the elevation topography works in this sort of like method. So what you want to do is just zoom in a little bit. Now, if you look on the top, it should say downloading. Just wait for that to download, and then it will load up everything. Now, you don't want to zoom it too far, but you don't want to zoom it too far away. You just want to be able to see the road line. So I think from here, we should be okay. Yeah. Also, for reference as well, it does tell you the zoom on top. So I've been told zoom 20 is perfect. So we'll do here. So then what you want to do is press E, so E for echo. And what that does is, this whole border here, so from corner to corner, it crops this image. So press E. And there you go. You've got sort of a base map of Google Earth. So now to get the elevation of this, which I'll show you now, you don't have to use elevation. That's completely your choice. If you just want to do the elevation yourself, that's completely fine. If you want to avoid doing elevation, just skip to the next part, but I promise you it's very quick and simple. But if you don't want to do it, I'll put a timestamp in the video. Now to do elevation, go to GIS, Web Geodata, get elevation. When you go on server, select Open Topography 30M, and then I think your API key that you've inputted in the Preferences tab on add-ons should automatically come up. If not, just paste it in here. Once that's done, if you press OK, your computer will freeze for a second. Just give that a minute. So what it's doing is it's grabbing that data from real life and then putting it into the actual mesh itself. So as you can see, it's all bendy. It's all, you know, it's not a flat surface anymore. Now this is because the way this is formed is what the terrain's like in real life Chicago. So as you can see, this road kind of bends down a little bit and comes back up, which if I was to show you on Google Earth, it might not be visible, but we'll quickly show you. So what it's done is it's actually retrieved the data from here and has grabbed the elevation. So we did here. So it's not noticeable, but you can see the road goes up and sort of comes down here. So it is somewhat accurate. But yeah, so that's essentially your elevation. So I don't really see it being useful for cities because I mean this doesn't look exactly right, and it just seems like it's going to be harder to build. So I'd only recommend doing elevation if you're doing like mountains and stuff like that. So let me just quickly get this again. So base map, bingo Google, satellite, G for golf, put in your town you want to do, Chicago. Make sure your zoom level is 20. Then go to the location you want to grab the map data from. So I want to do here. Look on the top left or the top center of your screen. Make sure it's level 20. Press E for echo, and then you're done. Now, to export this as a mesh for Roblox, what you want to do is make sure you're actually highlighting make sure you actually clicked on it, so you're selecting it. Go to File, Export, and then GLB or GLTF. So you want to click on that. So what that does, it exports the image as well for Roblox. Now, I'm just going to install it on my desktop. So we'll create a new folder. We'll call it Chicago, Illinois. So what you want to do is, before you do anything, just open all these up first. Make sure limit to is selected objects. And I believe that's everything. I don't think there's anything else you need to do from here. So just give it a name. So just call it, I'll just call it Chicago 1. So it gives you a rough idea on which ones are which. So just call it like Chicago 1 or whatever your town is or area is, and export it. There you go. So now, hopefully this works first time. You want to go to your Roblox Studio, go to a fresh new studio. This is one that I've just opened up. You'd want to go to Home, and you should see a button that says Import. You want to click on Import. Now go to the location where that file was. So just, there you go, Chicago, Illinois. Grab that, open, and here you go. It shows you the actual export picture here. Now you want to press Import. Wait for that to load, and it should pop up in your Explorer. Just give it a minute to load. So here you go. So now, as you can see, it doesn't seem to be the correct size. Now, a way of fixing that, if you just bear with me 1 second. A way of fixing that is just go to your toolbox. I'm just going to pull out one of mine. Just grab like a player just to get the right measurement, and then just grab a car that's been sized up. So I've got a perfect example actually. I've got a Chicago PD mesh pack somewhere, or mesh car somewhere. There we go. So we'll use this since we're doing Chicago. So you want to grab your car that's sized correctly. So I would say that's somewhat sized correctly. You want to grab that, and then just find any car just find any car here. And as you can see, this map is way too small. That car on the floor is way, way too small. So you want to hold Alt, click on this, go to scale, and then just, let me just move all this. You'd want to just scale it right till it's about the right size. So now, as you can see, this is way too big now. This car is way, way too big. So we'll grab this car here, and then we're just going to slowly but surely scale it down to the right size. So it's still slightly too big. So I'm going to scale it a bit more. And I would say that is about the rough size. As you can see, you've got the car here. That is about the same size. So now you've almost got a one-to-one recreation of the actual area itself. So there you go. That's pretty much how you export Google Maps / Google Earth map data and put it into Roblox Studio. Now, before I let you go, I'll also show you how to expand this map. So what you want to do is just open up the one that you've just done, go to GIS and do the exact same thing that you just done. So go to WebGeoData, base map, Bing or Google, make sure it's satellite, press OK. Now it'll actually put you down where you last had it. Now what you want to do is hold the middle mouse button and just slowly move upwards. It will be a bit laggy because it's just downloading that data. Now this orange line here on the bottom, you want to just about put it on the bottom here, like that. And then here you go, it will actually generate the map above it. So the best way to explain it is, so that section of the map below, all it's done is it's moved the map upwards a bit and it's generated that area of the map. So all you do is press E and that will crop it. And as you can see, it's actually connected here. Now there will be a bit of clipping, but I mean, this is a template. It's going to be deleted anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then to export this as well, you do the exact same thing. Go to export. GLB/GLTF. Give it a name, so I'll call this Chicago 2. Go to include and make sure it's selected objects, so it's just this one. And then export. Go to your Roblox Studio. Make sure it's on home. Import. Select Chicago 2, or select the named file. Open, import. So wait for that to import. And there we go, it's generated a new map. Now, to make your life easy, you don't have to keep scaling these constantly. All you need to do is, once you've scaled one, hold Alt, click, go onto the Properties tab, go to size and just copy the size of that mesh, and then just input it into here, and that will automatically scale it for you. So if I was to just grab this Ford Explorer and just find a car, look, it's the same size, and the reason it's the same size is because it's from the same system. It's the Google Maps, Google Earth, map data, so it's all going to be the same size. Now all you do is hold Alt, click on the one that you've just made, copy the position, which is under C frame. Alt, click on the one that you've just made, go into C frame position and paste that position in there. So it will put it basically exactly where the last one was, and then just drag it to the direction it's supposed to be. So in this case, it's going this way, because as you can see, there's the bus there, there's the bus there, and all you need to do is just drag it and then just make sure it's about there. Yeah. Boom. And there you go. Yeah, that's excuse me, that's pretty much how you do it. And like I said before, the reason why this is so helpful is when you're recreating a big city like this, like Chicago, for example, it can be quite hard to try and get the sizes correctly, and everything can seem really off-centered. But this allows you to get that pretty much almost a one-to-one recreation, essentially. Now, the one thing about this is that sometimes these images can be quite bright. So as you can see, these road lines are just barely visible. Now, I don't really know if there's a way of actually making the texture darker, so I'm going to quickly check that for you now. I can't seem to find a way to actually make the picture darker, but the best way I've found is make sure you've got like the base plate, like a grey background, and then just change the transparency to 0.5, and then from there it removes that brightness. So this was before, this is after, so this makes it a little bit more clearer on sort of where everything is. But yeah, I hope this helps. Any issues, just leave me a comment. More than happy to try and help you out as much as I can. Just for your information, I'm not a professional at Blender, so please don't ask me questions about like Blender and the tools and stuff, because I couldn't tell you. There is information on the internet you can find, which makes it a lot easier. But yeah, any issues, let me know, and I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.